Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Welcome to dearly departed League One edition. Welcome, Knappers. And it feels like we're hanging on by our fingernails because in the last 15 minutes, everything has broken and we've reset everything. So, Knappers, can you see me, hear me loudly, clearly?
Yeah, for now. But when you start talking about Ipswich on Saturday, I think your internet might freeze up again.
Yeah, we might get a little bit of interference then, but we're going to try our best to get through the show. My apologies if I'm slightly flustered. I was, as ever, completely beautifully prepped for this, and then about 15 minutes ago, everything went to hell in a handbasket. But we are here, as ever, to discuss League One and our dearly departed League One teams. Those are the ones that I have covered in the past, up there in the Championship, and unfortunately, they've found their way down to League One. And this man, Knappers, covers each and every week over on his excellent channel. Knappers, we were going to be in the same place at the same time twice, and I ruined it both times, didn't I? At the Football Content Awards, where a 3-game week swallowed me, and I couldn't quite get down to Ipswich at the weekend. But other than not getting to hang out with me in person because of my ineptitude, how are you?
I'm very good. Yeah, since we've last done this show, I've obviously I've seen Charlton at Fleetwood. I obviously saw Sheffield Wednesday against Bolton. I've seen them earlier in the season. I've seen Rotherham just a few weeks ago. I actually see Wycombe on Saturday. And I see Wigan on the following Tuesday. So this time next week, pretty much, or this time next week in a few hours, I would have seen all five teams. Getting flustered myself here, Ben. Dearly departed teams. So, watching a lot of football at the moment. A lot of miles travelled. Saturday, I'll finish work at 12:30. I got to bed at 1:30. Got up at 4. I got back at 1 a.m. in the morning. But anything for the cods, eh?
Brutal, absolutely brutal. And it does feel now like I've managed to get to a couple of games now. We're slowly getting back into it. And next Tuesday night, I will be at Adams Park for Wycombe versus Ipswich. So I will get my first look at one of the dearly departed. I know you're on about your 15th now, aren't you? But there we go. So as you can see at the top there, the dearly departed are Wycombe, Sheffield Wednesday, Rotherham, Wigan, and Charlton. But we never go too long without talking about the teams we support, Fleetwood and Ipswich as well. And they played each other at the weekend. So we'll get into that after we've dealt with our normal 5. First of all, let's just say a big thanks to Bits, follower of Ipswich for 40 plus years, Overland Sea and Norwich. Bits has taken the bat and he is our fan sponsor for this show. I think you met him on Saturday, didn't you, Ben?
I did. What a man. He came out.
What a legend.
He goes, you bloody grown since the last time I saw him. I know. But yeah, top man. Great to talk to him for a little bit. I saw a lot of Ipswich fans on Saturday. It's great to talk to them. It's great to talk about their views. Last year I wasn't positive about Ipswich at all. This year I think I've been a bit more wait till the tide has turned. I think they're getting that tide at the moment. So, 13 from 15. It's a good mood right now at Portman Road.
Absolutely. So, yeah, thanks, Bits, for taking up the baton. And if anybody does indeed want to help financially via Super Chat, obviously, we'll split them in half and value Napper's time exactly the same as mine for this show here. Right. Let's have a look. If I just get the results up from the last round. It's all a bit hectic, to be honest, because there's actually 2 catch-up games tonight kicking off in about 40 minutes as well. So it never ends. But those are our results from the weekend. Stanley 2, Pompey 2, Wimbledon 0, Wigan 2, Bolton 2, Gills 2, loads of goals. Burton 1, Oxford 3, Doncaster 3, Cheltenham 2, Ipswich 2, Fleetwood 1, MK 0, Rotherham 3, Morecambe 1, Plymouth 1, Wednesday 1, Lincoln 1, Shrews 4, Cambridge 1, Sunderland 0, Charlton 1. Interested to hear Napper's thoughts on that one. Wycombe 2, Crewe 1. And that is where we're going to begin, Knappers, because worryingly, with my Ipswich Town as well, because they play them very soon. Wycombe are our highest ranked dearly departed team, and they just keep winning games, and they don't mind winning them in stoppage time as well, do they? It was 2-1 at the weekend. A bit of an outlier, a brace from Ryan Tafazoli, the centre half, and the winner coming in the 97th minute. They just find a way. His first one, Ben, you can see Thompson driving in the shot. Tafazoli, I think you can just see his arm there poking out on the 6-yard box, and he's going to deflect that one in. I don't know how much he knew about it, but there you go. Here's the equaliser from Lowry for Crewe. That's just bounced back to him. He's already had a go once, and then he sticks the return into the net from the angle. It's a great run. But then, minute 97, he definitely meant that one, didn't he? Cross swung in from a beater on the left-hand side. In it goes, and I'll give you the league position there as well, Knappers, before you go off and talk. Wycombe, 30 points from 14. So essentially, if they get anything from their game in hand over Plymouth, they are, or they have the most points in the division and would go top, depending on a little bit of timing. Give me your thoughts then, Knappers. Wycombe 2, Crewe 1.
What a start, really. You look at it, 6 games at home, they've won 6. Solid away, they've won 3 of the first. I think it's 7 away from home. They just grind out results, and people question the style of football that they play. But in my opinion, it's winning football, and if you can do that, week in, week out, then you're a good football side. And they're very frustrating to play against because they go to the end. They've got experience, but then they've got a bit of youth as well. And I like that little bit of blend. You don't score 22 goals in 14. Only, what can see. I think, 14? Is it 13? 13 points out of 15. Unbelievable return, really. And again, they're over that 2 point per game marker, which, I like, you like. It's a big factor to, build your foundations on. They don't concede many goals. Would they like to win it early and a bit more comfortable? Yes. But it gives them a bit more spirit, a bit more, determination. And if you ask a lot of Wycombe fans, a lot of them saying, I'm disappointed. I think we played as well as we could have done. The great getting results, and it's a great team spirit. And, what a manager, Gareth Ainsworth have got. They've got team spirit. They've got abundance. They're talented. Hard to beat. Don't concede many goals. Score goals. Get goals from different areas. The defence is a key area for goals as well. You look at it, Tazza Foley, Stewart will get goals, Joe Jacobson, Subby Kaikai, you can sometimes advert from a right wing back. Grimmer can get goals. You've got midfielders, Pendlebury, Thompson, Scowen capable of scoring. And that's forgetting Sam Vokes, Gary Cleary, Ademayo Akinfenwa, those types of players whose job it is to put the ball in the back of the net.
Are those older players that you just mentioned, is their output going to be consistent through the season, do you think?
Well, I said on Saturday, they played Fleetwood Saturday, and Fleetwood got a very young team, very, raw team, but going to be exciting. Will Fleetwood get the better of them later on in the stages? But I don't think so, because if they go 1-0 up in games, I don't put anything past them winning the game of football. They've got the experience to win games of football throughout the season to see it out. They're going to need a few young'uns to come in to help them along the way over the Christmas period where they've got, Saturday, Tuesday. It is brutal. There's only 35 Saturdays in the season, I believe. So you are going to have to play 11 3-game weeks, which people won't say it's a 3-game week, but do our job and then say it's a 3-game week. But they've got the talent there. 30 points. We level with Plymouth Argyle with a game in hand. To be above Plymouth, I know 2 points. The 2 points above Wigan with a game in hand. Wigan play Lincoln tonight. I'd rather have the 2 points, if I'm honest with you. What a job he's done. And I believe all the players will get them through. And they'll be in the top 6 minimum.
I'm just going to quickly thank you very, very much, Jim. £5 on the super chat. He's watching Knappers. But he says, I hate League One. So I think he hates League One. Just quickly on Ainsworth. obviously the Cardiff job is open now, and there is a certain sequence of events that sees the Preston job open again, maybe at some point. Would he jump ship during the season, do you think, or not?
We've said it a few times, haven't we? Paul Warne and Gareth Ainsworth, those two managers in this list, have done enough at those football clubs over a long period of time. They're one of the longest servings in the EFL to decide when they want to leave. At Wycombe, he is a legend. He will always be a legend. He's doing a very good job. If they don't go up this year, they finish in the top 6, he has still done a good job. He did a good job last year, even though they got relegated. You know, when you did your review show, you could hardly, Wycombe going down, they still had a very good year and he battled. I don't see, where would it be just another manager somewhere else replacing a very experienced championship manager who's on a bad run. You know, you can glass over the curtains for a bit, where you're going to have to win them over, where you can say somewhere that you're happy, that you're loved. Your chairman, by the way, at Wycombe, doesn't really spend a lot of money, but he trusts Gareth Ainsworth with a budget. And that budget at Wycombe is probably a little bit higher than it would be for any other manager, because how much he knows Ainsworth will work with it. He knows he's not going to basically sign a load of trash and leave in the lurch like other certain managers do at football clubs. I think he's got to stay at Wycombe for me. I know Cardiff fans won't like me saying that, but for me, if he stays at Wycombe, I think that will really, really stand him in good stead. And why would you leave a side that are going for promotion when you're joining Cardiff at the best, going to finish in maybe the top 12 at best this year if they're on a good run?
He'll keep getting linked, though, won't he, Knappers?
So if he goes to Preston, I could see why he could go to Preston, but Cardiff, I'd be very surprised.
Interesting. Let's move on to Wigan, who, as Knappers pointed out, are playing and kicking off very soon. So we can kind of parlay the conversation into their game in hand, because that could be key tonight. They play Lincoln. But at the weekend, it was Wimbledon 0, Wigan 2. They just keep winning this season, don't they? Had to wait until the second half, a quick sort of double punch of the two goals. Own goal first by Paul Kalambai, just stretching out to try and deflect that cross, sticks it in his own net. And this is a superb goal. Lang sticks it across to James McLean, who probably falls in that too good for the division category. And he completely dummies and leaves his opponent on the floor and then just bends it into the far corner. It's a really, really decent goal. And if we throw up the league table as well, you'll see Wigan can go top tonight. We'll throw their team up when I get Knappers to look at the next game. I'm sure that's come up soon. But Knappers, you've been quite impressed by Wimbledon. You think they punched their weight, but Wigan are just so consistent at the moment. Your thoughts on Wimbledon 0, Wigan 2?
You know, Wimbledon are a side that will battle for you. They'll work all day. I know they've only won one of the first 7 at home, but they played some very good sides at home. So I know they played Bolton and now Wigan. You know, Wigan, you look at it, the last 5 away games in Sunderland, they've won all 5 and they've conceded 1 goal. They've lost 3 games in League One this year. After every game, they've won the next one. What do we say every week, Ben? Bounce back ability.
Yeah.
We can have that. If they can lose a game and win the next 2 or 3, that loss is gone. And it's as simple as that. Their mentality, it's just, we've lost. We'll win the next one. Don't worry. It's gone. Go again. Lee Richardson, he set that up. Last week to go from that mentality, I know the squad has changed. But to change it with big egos, big attitude, plays on big budgets, a bit like Frank Lampard at Chelsea. He had a lot of the youth to work with, had to get him through, get him into the top 4. Then he had the big egos of your Werners, Joachim Ziyech's, and those big players that he signed. He couldn't manage. Lee Richardson's done it extremely well. You know, young, hungry manager, over 2 points a game, only side to keep, concede less than 10 goals in the division. So exciting to watch. I know they've lost 2 of the last 5, but they've won 3 of the last 5, you can say. And at the end of the day, that's simple. That's nearly 2 points a game. So you can afford to lose possibly 2 in 6 if you win the other 4. We can do that.
You and I love our maths. If you win 30 games, you get 90 points. You can still lose 16, can't you? So, you know, it's all about those 3-pointers. Where do you rank that front line with Lang and Keane, McLean and White?
Very good. Very, very good. As a front line, I look at Sunderland. I think they're very solid, but I look at Wigan. I think they're more flary, and they're going to get you more goals and more assists. I think Rotherham are very solid as well. I think Plymouth probably have the best front 2 in the division, who are top of the league, and Jeff Gott and Hardy. But as that front 4, you're not going to get better. And by the way, you've not mentioned Stephen Humphrey, who can come off the bench. Then the 2 behind him in Jordan Cousins and Tom Naylor. Then the back 4 is very good as well. So overall, they've just got a great side. It's like what they've done is unlimited budget for fantasy footballing for a season, and they've got the best. They've got gems and that's what they've done.
Loaded up the front end of the pitch. You love to see it. We'll talk a bit more about Wigan, particularly because of the extra game tonight, and we'll see where Knappers thinks they'll end up by Sunday, because there could be another 3, 4, 6 points potentially on the board, but we'll take a look at the fixtures. Also on Saturday, and this is, you talked about 13 points in 15 also for Rotherham, who went, we're going to Sunderland 0, Charlton 1, first of all. Let's do Rotherham and MK first. We'll do Charlton last. I got my running order wrong. Right, let me get my head in the right place. MK 0, Rotherham 3. We always go with the high one in the table, and we will indeed go with that. And just a comfortable win at a good MK side. All of the goals from balls into the box, and we'll look at that in just a second. But nice win for Rotherham, and they're in really nice form at the moment. Let me just throw the goals up on the screen for you. There is the opener, and it's big Ihekwa. It's quite a clever set play, actually, because they don't put it in first time, put it down the line, send it back, and then stick it in the box. And everyone has to reset, and Ihekwa heads it into the net. How about that one then? That's my screenshot. Barlasa scores direct from the corner. There's a bit of movement ahead of the keeper, but just bends it all the way in. And this one goes loose in the box. It's actually a very nice assist by Michael Miller, who you can see on his backside. Number 14, just in the corner to the left of the picture. And Ladapo, I think it gets a bit of a deflection, but Ladapo gets the goal. And they're in fine form as well. And nice 3-0 away win into the bargain. What are your thoughts on Rotherham at the weekend, Knappers? Ignore my running order, everyone, by the way, watching. It's wrong.
That's 8 unbeaten for Rotherham since 4-2 loss to Fleetwood. Have to mention us somewhere, haven't I? They've only conceded 3 in those 8. They've kept 8 clean sheets this season. Those 3 goals, by the way, they conceded 1. They didn't score. They couldn't concede 2. So in those 8 games, they kept 5 clean sheets and conceded 1 3 times. They're up to 5th. They're 5 points clear of 7th. On a great run, 13 from 15, like you mentioned. They've got a very good front 2, front 3, whatever you want to call it. Aubergine, Barlasa, Rothbone, Wiles. Aubergine is very good as well. The back 3, very solid. Got a good goalkeeper, settled 11, good manager. Why aren't people talking about Rotherham potentially winning League One? I don't see why not. The last 2 years have been in League One. I know they've won the playoffs, and something's going to go wrong at some point over the season. It will for every team. But Wigan get a lot of praise. We've seen Plymouth, Wycombe, Sunderland, Oxford even get some praise of late, potentially tipping them for the top 2. Rotherham are just a team that's next. Then winning 3-0 at MK Dons, it's a simple result. It's just what Rotherham do. They grind out results. They don't concede goals. They don't make a fuss about it. That's what Paul Warne's insisted in them. If Rotherham keep this up, keep performing like that, keep that mentality, they'll finish in the top 2. And I can't see anyone past it with that mentality that's just next. They're just a different animal. You know, Will Griggs come in, I think he's done quite well since coming in. Really, I think he's, in terms of goals, even off the bench, they've got options. You know, they play a back 3, it's very settled. I like this Rotherham side. This is the best Rotherham team that they've had in League One by a country mile. And yeah, they've got Michael Smith up front who can score goals, who's unbelievable. Back to goal, superb.
You get the impression with Rotherham, Knappers, they're probably the one team in the division, most of all, that aren't necessarily too bothered about adapting depending on who they're facing. Do you know what I mean? They've got their plan and they're sticking to it regardless of who their opponents are. And that can sometimes be a weakness when, you know, it might be a more on the floor passing style, relying on certain players. But when it's about physicality and good defending, it's, you know, it's very much the sense of, well, go on then, stop it. And at League One level, it just works, doesn't it?
Exactly. If you can stop them playing, it's like, well, thank God they've stopped us playing. What do we do now? Whereas Rotherham, if they get stopped playing, they have a plan B and they can kill teams off. So I just think Rotherham just need to settle down, just keep winning games of football, keep going unnoticed, keep tuning out these results. You know, a few big games I think they're playing. Sunderland soon, so Sunderland, Sheffield Wednesday, and Rotherham to come. A tough kind of couple of fixtures for them, but what a run they're on. They've got as many points as they have done as Plymouth and Wycombe as well, so they lined up nicely with them. They're only 3 points off the top 2, so you know, considering they had a bad patch, you know, where they lost 2 in 3 games to, you know, Wednesday and Fleetwood. They've reacted very well since then. They played some good sides as well.
Absolutely. They're just going to keep churning it out, aren't they? Let's move on. Again, apologies for my running order. We're going to go Wednesday, Lincoln, and then we're going to go Sunderland, Charlton. My bad. Got that in the wrong way. So on we go to, can I call them stuttering Sheffield Wednesday Knappers? I'll let you decide when you talk about this one. But it's a 1-1 draw here at home to Lincoln. Both the goals in the second half, Phatthananan and Monsma. Let's throw them up on the screen for you. Here is Dennis Phatthananan. Could finish that actually because that's coming at him. It's a horrible angle, but it's one of those where if you look at the keeper, you know if you can get it in ahead of the keeper, he's probably going to parry it into his own net, isn't he, from that angle? But Big Monsma had lots of fun from set plays last season, and there he is on the near post from a Maguire cross, and he gets the equaliser. And the reason I say stuttering Wednesday is despite the fact that they don't actually lose many games, you can see only Wycombe and Plymouth have lost fewer games than 3, which is where Wednesday are. 3 draws in a row, and Knappers, you've been talking about people getting 13 points from 15. You know you're going to lose pace with them if you're going to take 3 points from 3 games, don't you? Your thoughts on Wednesday 1, Lincoln 1?
Well, the top 6 have taken 9 to 13 points each in 5 games. They've taken 6. So already the 3 to 7 points behind that. And I call them stuttering, but I call them flaky as well. Every time they had a 1-0 lead, it was the same against Bolton. It was hold on now, sit so deep. And the fans are fuming with it. Sheffield Wednesday Football Club should not be sitting on a 1-0 lead every home game. If you're going to get caught out, Bolton couldn't quite finish it off. They were unlucky not to get a point that day. I thought Bolton and Lincoln, again, set plays, go to the end, scores. I think it's a wake-up call. Yeah, they're good defensively, they're solid. Oh, they've only scored more goals than 3 other teams in the league. That's Crewe, Doncaster, Shrewsbury. 3 of those are in the bottom 5. Crewe are bottom, Doncaster second bottom. Shrewsbury are just outside the relegation zone. Good win on Saturday. I think they scored 4. They need to score goals. They need to get balls into the box. They need to kill games when they've got the chances. Against Fleetwood, if you recall, I did say there's just something not quite clicking yet. I know they won 3 out of 3, but it just wasn't quite vocal yet. And considering they won the first 9, to get 12 out of 11. 12 out of 11. How bad, really, is that? You look at that. That's not good enough. You know, Porter for the same, really. They won the first 3, and then, 13 points from 11. Both of them have just, whistled off. Sheffield Wednesday, I'm afraid, you look at, Wycombe are better than them, Rotherham are better than them, Wigan are better than them. That's 3 teams already. Then you've got your Plymouth to add in, your Sunderlands to add in, your Oxfords to add in, your MK Dons to add in. The Sheffield Wednesday side, it needs something in January. I think they need a left back or a centre half. They didn't look comfortable in the back 3 when I watched them. Iain, as good as he is, I just don't think he suits a back 3, if I'm honest with you. I think they need a back 4. Just get more attacking players up that pitch and, use the creativity that they've got in the machine they call Barry Bannon.
I'll put this one up from Jim because it interested me. Ipswich fans tell me Lambert was trying to do the same thing there as Moore at Wednesday, and the players just not good enough on the ball to do it. We've had this conversation loads, haven't we? Because we've seen Coventry and Oxford, maybe Lincoln a little bit actually, play football in League One, and it takes time to get it going, and it takes, it's a long process. And I think what Jim is referring to is sometimes you can overcomplicate things in League One where maybe you don't quite have the standard of player to carry out a sort of flowing passing game. How does that kind of line up in your head, given what Darren Moore... Doncaster were quite a good footballing team. So in my head, he's got better players at Wednesday and he can get there, but the pressure's more. What's your take on that, Knappers, and overcomplicating it, and is it worth it in the long run?
I think they've got to do it for a while. I think they've got to play the same back 3 for a while, and it may work. I just don't think those players suit it. Maybe they suited a bit more at Doncaster, because teams... Doncaster, might not have as good players, but because they're not quite as good, they need that extra defender to defend. Where Sheffield Wednesday do have that bit more brilliance, where they maybe don't need that extra defender. And they're like, well, if we got this one up front with us, there's more chance of us scoring goals because there's more players at the right end and there's more players to find. So you could go swings and roundabouts with it, really.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have a look at the next fixture for Wednesday in just a bit. We've got one more to do, and safe to say the surprise result of the weekend. And we haven't actually spoken to Knappers since Nigel Adkins was fired as Charlton manager, but I'm sure Sunderland just completely hate Charlton now. I've seen them beat them in 2 playoff finals over my time watching, and they just seem to have something over them. And it was Sunderland 0, Charlton 1. Stockley with the only goal in this one. I took one look at that and I thought Jonathan Lecco at right wing back, and then I saw the goal and he actually sets it up, so it shows what I know about that player. But here is Big Stockley on the back stick, nodding that one in. Interestingly enough, just with my law book out, I don't know who it was on the line there. Let me just try and get there. You'll tell me, Knappers, who tried to handball it. Who is that? Does that say 18? I can't read the number. Just running back in on goal.
Gooch.
Is it Gooch? Anyway, he jumps up and he goes to handball it. And the ref does have a word with him afterwards, because obviously the ball goes in the net in the end. But if he keeps out with his hand, it's a red card and a penalty. And it could have been even worse. There's a bit of a loophole in the law, actually, because if you intend to foul somebody, you still get the decision. So I was interested to see whether he punished him anyway. But give me your thoughts, because we haven't heard since about Adkins going and it's Johnny Jackson, isn't it, in temporary charge, and a surprise win and 3 points for Charlton up at Sunderland.
Great win, great clean sheet, 2 wins from 3 away from home. They did need a bit more passion, a bit more, come on guys, a bit of a rollicking, really, a bit of a reality. Whereas Atkins is a bit of a happy clapper nowadays. I love that. I love the positivity. But while you're going for a bad run, it's not what you need. And Johnny Jackson loves that football club, gets the supporters. He's a Charlton fan, perfect fit. Go away from home. Sunderland do have a lot out injured. And just whether if that is a big factor that has been coming for a while. They have been tuning out results well. I have been praising the Sunderland side, saying it's different to how we normally play football. The grind out results, got a different mentality now at that football club. But Charlton, brilliant away from home. Stockley again on the score sheet. Scored against Fleetwood a few weeks ago. And it's all about the next game. They've got Doncaster up next. Up at home, win that. Again, go again. You're only as good as your last game. But again, you've just got to think of the next game now. And that won't be a good win if they lose to Doncaster on Saturday. If they win against Doncaster, that's 2 good wins. They go again. Then you're looking, you can make it 7 out of 9 or 9 out of 9. Win the next one. It's all about the next result, if the last result was a good result or not.
There you go. Brilliant stuff. Right. We're going to have a look at the next games coming up, but it would be remiss of me not to ask Knappers, because he was there at the weekend, about Ipswich 2, Fleetwood 1. Late win for Ipswich. Still a bit of a sense that, I don't know, they're getting away with it a little bit without blow. I mean, they've blown 2 teams away now. They've won 6-0 and 4-0 against Doncaster and Pompey. But how was the experience? How was Portman Road? How was the game? What were your thoughts, Knappers?
The internet's going. I can't answer this one. No,
he's cutting out everyone.
And well, no. I got back from work at 12:30, went to bed at 1:30, and woke up at 4. So I was feeling a little bit tender walking to Ipswich after a long shift at work, but I wasn't really expecting much. The quality that you had, your Carl Edwards, your Sonny Lucas, your Connor Chaplins, your Macaulay Bonds, Sam Morsey. It's a great squad. Spoke to a lot of your fans before, and you're excited. You've just got off a great win, great week. You just got, what was it, 10 points from 12. And then, like Colin said, I think we've run into it just at the wrong time. You started well. You got the goal early in the second half. I thought we reacted very well. Great ball by Paddy Lane, good header by Callum Morton. It sat back, gave you a bit too much respect when you scored. Burton Salina did very well when he came on. After Wes Burns, United SC and the former Fleetwood man with the assist. Great atmosphere. The limbs were incredible. One of the best I've ever seen. We've got to go to the end and we've got to see how these games. I'm sick of people saying, you're not as bad as you look, you're not as bad as the table suggests. Well, we're not, but we need to put wins on the table. And if we don't do that, we are going to find ourselves in a sticky situation next season. So, great result for Ipswich. I don't think you're getting away with it. I do believe that if you can win games of football, you could say Wycombe are getting away with it. They won in the last minute as well. But show spirit. I know you like it a little bit earlier, but if you can keep winning games of football, you do not care. Yeah,
it's still very, very mixed in the fan base. I think it's just a fan base that hasn't. I know you just said you'd like to see it a bit earlier, and that's the thing. It's for the longest time, Ipswich fans have not seen a team that goes out, gets 2-0 up, is comfortable, and looks like they're going to win games. Even in those strange winning streaks they had under Lambert, there was a lot of sort of 1-0 wins, and it felt like sort of individual player quality rather than an actual good team playing together. So can you understand that's where Ipswich fans are with it? And I don't know, it sounds a little bit snotty, doesn't it? Oh, we want to win and we want to win well. Obviously, look, we've been 11th in League One twice, so we don't presume that we're better than everyone, because we haven't been. But do you kind of understand, given the type of player that's come in, why Ipswich fans are kind of in that mode?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's down to the manager. He's been given the tools. He's had backing. You could have sacked him, really. And I'm so glad they didn't, because it would have been stupid if they did. I said give him patience. And you're not going to play well every week. But if you don't play well and win, but then you play well the next week, it's all's forgotten. You've just got to keep, putting in a decent performance, giving a little bit of fight and having enough chances. So if you get great chances and, keep, passing with purpose, play forwards, run forwards. The other day I was United Liverpool. I said to my dad, not one United midfielder is getting the ball. He'll pass it forward, but he'll stay where he is. play forwards, run forwards. But Tommy did that twice against Leeds the other day. Last season, and scored twice for me. That's what Connor Chaplin does. That's what Sam Morsey does. If you can keep doing that, you'll score a lot of goals just by doing that simple movement. You've got the players up front. You've got the players on the bench. You just got to keep grinding it out now. And like I say, you'll be there or thereabouts. I think top 2 is gone. I think realistically, I think it's going to be between Wycombe, Sunderland, Wigan and Rotherham.
Yeah.
And then you look at the playoffs, the other 2 teams that don't get in the top 2, Plymouth, Oxford, MK Dons, Sheffield Wednesday, yourself.
Man, it's hard.
It's a hard league.
Yeah.
But Ipswich Town just need to keep winning and do a Rotherham next.
Yeah, exactly.
Be nasty, be horrible. And we were on Saturday. That's why they got 3 points. Because I've called Ipswich flaky in the past. I've called Ipswich soft, easy to play against.
Well, quite reasonably so, I think.
You said it. You don't have nasty players. On Saturday, I saw a team that was right. You reacted very well to the goal. It was like, right, ball, let's go again. It was literally like, right, next goal wins. You got 2 minutes left to play, and it was like, come on, let's rush. We're going to score. And it was literally a hammer on our door. It's like, just hopefully you do next goal wins after the first minute next time.
Yeah, right. Well, they've surrendered so many leads now. I think just to finish on this, because we shouldn't be doing too long on Ipswich, but I think once they're within sight of the top 6, I think fans will react. Will react better. Do you know what I mean? When they see it tangibly, because then you can see a real promotion challenge. But he's only ever a draw from Cambridge away, or going to Wycombe and taking a big L if there is one away from. Whilst he's not in that area, he's only ever that result away from it. Right, let's have a look at what's coming up for these teams. And just quickly, Knappers, we've got a game kicking off in literally 5 minutes. It's Wigan at home to Lincoln. There's your team there: Amos, Power, Watmar, Watts, Deriqua, Bayliss, Naylor, Lang, Keane, McLean. You mentioned Humphreys actually starts ahead of Wyke. A Wigan win tonight, and they go top of the table. Lincoln can go up to 12th. Let me look at the goal difference. Yeah, with a win. Is this as simple as it looks for Wigan, Knappers?
No. Lincoln, very good. Got a good point away at Sheffield Wednesday. They beat Charlton. Took a decent bottle side. I know they lost. They're kind of a win one, draw one, lose one. But Wigan on Tuesday night has been a bit suspect. He's obviously lost last Tuesday at home. Lost a couple of Tuesdays ago to Sheffield Wednesday. So they want to get that hoodoo over. They don't want 3 in a row. They do see things coming threes. Hopefully that's not the case. But Wigan should be strong enough. That side is very, very strong. They've got players off the bench. I think they'll win it. Get a 2-0 win in that one, in my opinion.
And if Knappers is correct, Wigan will end the evening top of the table and same games then as Plymouth. Guys, we'll get Knappers' look at the weekend. And then if you want to get any questions in, get them in now in the chat, and we'll do a little bit of Q&A if there's any questions to finish with. So there is your round 16 this week. And yes, I have got my dates right. And you've already mentioned it, Charlton at home to Doncaster, which is a proper, if I scroll in the right direction, it's 22nd versus 23rd, a proper 6-pointer. How'd you see that one?
Charlton could go all the way up to 17th. And, if results go their way, you look at it, you can only be 7 or 8 points off the playoffs. Really? Come the end of it. You know what I mean? Well, no, sorry, 9 or 10 points off the playoffs. Just correcting myself. That's not too bad. 30 games to go at all. I don't think this Charlton side is good enough to get into the playoffs, if I'm honest with you. But you look at it, then they're only 4 or 5 points off the top 12. So all of a sudden, 2 wins. That's how close that bottom 12 is. It really is. A few years ago in League One, some of you might know, the bottom 12 is separated by about 8 points with 12 games to go. And Plymouth, who were 12, went down that season. So anything can happen. Look at Barnsley a few years ago, we're bottom at this point, went up. I think they won even the Johnson Payne Trophy that season. So anything can happen. They just need to keep the feel-good factor. They need to keep fighting. And every time, I personally believe Johnny Jackson is the right man for Charlton Football Club.
I was just gonna ask you that, actually. Go on, elaborate.
Because a Charlton fan point out, every manager that's done really well, Alan Kirby, Sheely, Bellion, there's another one that has done really well over the years at their football club, has played for them. Because you know why? Because they get the football club. Charlton fans are nuts, like Ipswich. They love the football. They're so passionate about it. It's everything that they've got. Their week relies on them winning that football match. They expect their team putting on a good performance. They expect a certain level of performance. They're warriors. They go to the end. They're going to fight. If you don't win that, leave that football pitch, sweating your absolute, everything off, absolutely not giving anything. You've not got mud on you. Don't play for Charlton Football Club. Johnny Jackson will install that from a different mindset of Nigel Atkins, who's a good manager. I think he's still got a bit to offer this, the beautiful game, but not for Charlton Football Club. They need a totally different option. Jason Newell, their assistant, played for them as well. I think it's a perfect duo. Get a win, and then on to the next one. If they can get, 5 games, if they can get possibly 9 or 10 points throughout the relegation. Get out of the relegation zone, then get to, your 20 points, keep scoring goals, keeping clean sheets, then you reach your little target. Forget the playoffs, you need to reach little targets. Say 10 days challenges. What we're going to do in this next 10 days, we're going to be better than we were 10 days before. We're going to win this football match. We're going to keep a clean sheet here. We're going to go away there and put on a good performance. We're going to win. We're going to battle it there. If they can do that, they'll be more than fine. And they will be in the top 10 if they do that by the end of the season.
It is Cheltenham versus Sheffield Wednesday. Now, earlier on, Knappers, you said Wednesday, a little bit flaky. Last place you want to go if you're a little bit flaky is away to Cheltenham, isn't it? How do you see this one panning out?
Absolutely. And Cheltenham are there where they are on the table for a reason, the 13th. And they're very good at winning back-to-back at home. They're very good at home. I think they beat Oxford. They beat Morecambe just recently. They're very good at home. They score a lot of goals. They score 3 against Morecambe. They keep clean sheets. Again, they've had a few disappointing results away from home. Doncaster, Wigan, Sunderland, lost to Rotherham at home. But they've got a good squad there. They're going to fight with every beam. But Wednesday, you look at them. Away at Wimbledon, drew. Away at Cambridge, drew. Home to Lincoln, drew. Realistically, you should be getting no less than 7 points from those games for a Sheffield Wednesday point of view. So, it's going to be Cheltenham's cup final. It really is. Cheltenham are going to fight the Warriors. May up front is a good striker in this league as anyone. It's going to be a hard game for Sheffield Wednesday. And I could see a Cheltenham winning that one. I really could.
It's so interesting. So interesting when you say about the flakiness, because we've seen it at Ipswich. Well, this team gels. Been away at Cheltenham, lost, drew to Morecambe. All the same teams you mentioned. Cambridge, they drew against. These are the ones that if you don't turn up against, they'll take points off you, and they won't they won't hesitate in doing it. Here's one for you then, Knappers. Fleetwood versus Wycombe. Good luck.
I've been dreading this one for a few weeks, if I'm honest with you. Fleetwood aren't as bad as 21st. Am I worried about the bottom four? Not really. Do I think about it every day? Yeah.
Well, let me just throw that question up for you there, Knappers, as well. Do you think Fleetwood are in huge trouble of relegation?
Honestly, I mentioned this on my show yesterday, and I did a 4 or 5 minute segment on it. Sam McGoldrick is the right man for this football club right now. He does very well with youth. As you know, when Preston manager did very well bringing through, Brown,
Knappers. He's good in game. There's a lot of these managers that are a bit long in the tooth and a bit pragmatic, but you watch them all on the touchline. McCarthy, Bruce, Grayson. They always move the chess pieces around in game pretty well, don't they? Yes,
and he saved us so many points by making it. Switch Paddy Lane, 5 minutes later he scores. He'll bring subs on early, bring subs on late, and they affect the game. We've already got the same amount of points coming from behind, I believe, this in 30-odd games under Grayson, we did 143 under Joey Barton. That said a lot about the two different characters and managers. Grayson is only getting battered because he was a Blackpool manager. So that is embarrassing, really, if you're asking for Grayson now. He's got a big kind of wage budget cut, really. He's 22 players, which 6 are injured at the moment. Big players, Tom Clark, Harrison Holgate, Shaden Morris, Callum Camps. Edmondson has come back from, COVID. You've had Morton been injured. It's been a horrible start for him. So Fleetwood will be fine this season. I am worried, I must admit, because I like being just a little bit above that comfort zone, and I can relax a little bit. But Wycombe are, well drilled. 2 years ago that game happened nearly. They're up at the top of the league, the favourites. And hopefully we can get something. I think we'll get a point on Saturday, though. I think, we've been good against the top sides this year. Plymouth, who sit top, we got a point against. We've not played Wigan. We played them on Tuesday. We've got a point at Sunderland, 2-0 down. Plymouth, again, we were 1-0 down against. Rotherham, we were 2-1 down, 1-4-2. Milton Keynes, 3-3. Went 3-2 down. So, we've been very good. And I think that'll carry on. I think Wycombe are a good side. If they beat us, they beat us. If we get something, then great.
Beautiful. Here's another equally easy one for you to call. You mentioned this game already. Rotherham versus Sunderland. And obviously on the back of that Sunderland defeat and with Rotherham in very nice form, this should be a right slugfest, this one, shouldn't it?
Absolutely. 2 big games for Sunderland. If they draw this and beat Wednesday, it's a good week. If they draw this and lose, bad week. If they lose this and win the next one, okay week. So both sides are very good. Both sides will be in the top 6. Could be one of those side games where whoever wins could really march on for that top 2. Sunderland do have a different mentality. If you asked me this 12 months ago, 24 months ago, or 36 months ago, I'd say Rotherham win all day long because the mentality of Sunderland isn't quite right. I'd probably say a 1-1 draw because I think 30% of those games they draw 1-1. Rotherham are very strong. Sunderland's mentality is very strong. I am going to go for a draw, though. I think both sides are very good. They're going to both go for it, and I think it'll result in a good game, hopefully a draw for me.
And finally, Wigan versus Burton. And again, this is all with the big caveat. Wigan are literally playing as we speak tonight, and we suspect they may well, I think they only need a draw, may well be going into this game top of the table. What's your take on Wigan, Burton, back-to-back wins you can see there for Burton, but a loss either side just outside of the playoffs now?
Yeah, Burton are a win 1, draw 1, lose 1. The last 6 have they've won 2, drawn 2, lost 2. Great against Fleetwood. I thought the, managed us very well. The game tactics are very good, but Wigan very strong, could pick Burton off, in my opinion. Because a big week for Wigan this. Looking at Lincoln at home, Burton home, and Fleetwood away, 9 points realistically should be on the cards. And then if it is, they're up to 38 points. It's a big week. Whereas other teams, only play twice, they could easily be, 4 or 5 points clear if results go their way and got a bit of comfort. But it's it. And it always is going to be it. And what if they do this? I think they'll beat Burton going into a tough game against Fleetwood. Well, say tough game going into Fleetwood, but, every game's tough in League One.
Absolutely. Right. Let us know if there's any questions in the chat. Whilst you're here, a couple of little plugs. Please hit like on the stream, wherever you're watching, YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook. Please hit subscribe here on my channel. I think we've gone over 19,700 now, so we're tiptoeing. Thanks, Knappers. We're tiptoeing our way to 20,000. It's like the top of the Travelator on Gladiators, which is a 90s reference that you probably won't get, Knappers, but there you go. And of course, we'll let him plug his channel probably in a minute. Go over and subscribe to Knappers' channel as well. Thank you for the super chatter. We were at gym today. We'll share that one. Let us know if there are any questions as we go. But I say it every single week. We tune in here and we do 5 teams, but over at the CODS Vlogs channel, you can hear about all 24 teams. So, Knappers, just give us a bit of a plug for what we can find over on your channel.
Yeah, cover all 24 teams. Do 1 or 2 live weekly hour shows talking about League One, talk about the table, talk about the game, talk about key clubs, key players. We do videos as well, match day vlogs and all of them, and we'll go out and watch some League One sides as well. So COD's vlogs, go and give it a subscription. Up in the last few days. So getting closer to that 10,000 subscriber goal by the end of the season.
Get him up there. We say it every week. Get him up there. And yeah, just for those people who've been asking me, because when we don't make a show every week, someone says, "Where's Knappers? Where's Knappers?" It is tricky for both of us in 3-game weeks. So we'll try and guarantee you a show, because I know Knappers is the same. You're previewing Monday, covering games Tuesday, Wednesday, reviewing Thursday, and then previewing Friday. It's the week just literally disappears. It's absolute madness, and it's exactly the same in, to be honest, probably even worse in League One with the Pizza Cup and all of that stuff going on, an FA Cup first round and all of that.
But the good thing is with the League One, you have games on Wednesday. So you literally...
Yeah.
I think it's bad. So literally what my week consists of, Saturday, I watch a game, I look at results, I look at, players to the table. I don't really write anything down. I leave it. I think best to leave it because emotions are high. Sunday, I reflect on opinions on Twitter. Have a look at what people are saying. Different moments in games. Catch up kind of Monday. Write all my notes. Write what I want to do. I know at that point. Do show Monday. Tuesday again. Back at the football. That time it's worse because it's a Tuesday night. I've got less time to prepare for a show on Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm literally going through it again, watching all the highlights, watching chemo. Thursday is that one day where you're kind of looking, right, Saturday now, what's going to happen? Friday's normally a free day for me. I'm like, I went to work the other day going, Ben, what do you think about this? I'm like, no football today, no football. I've had enough. Tomorrow I'll speak.
I did that on Monday, actually. That's my new plan after 3-game weeks. We went out with the baby. We went for a little walk in Milton Keynes. We went for lunch at a pub. It was all very nice. And then kicked back in today in complete terror. It's like, what have I missed? But there we go. Adrak, do you think Sunderland will recall Grigg just out of bloody mindedness? Because they certainly won't play him in January, that is. Thoughts, Ben?
Ooh, if he starts scoring goals and starts firing you up, it could be a tactical move, couldn't it, for him to recall? But if Rotherham are paying a big chunk of his wages, Sunderland can get an even better player that's going to play for them in the 11. So I don't think Sunderland can really... I know they've got a big budget now, but financial fair play. I think the driver pay a player money that's going to get into the starting 11 that improves them just as much. I think Sunderland, if you're Sunderland Football Club, you need to forget about what Rotherham are doing. I think you've got to just focus on, if we win all our games, Rotherham United won't catch us. That's the mentality they should have.
You've had a request to come on our Patreon round table. I'll talk to you about that, Knappers, off air. But you're more than welcome as ever. Me and the Patreons get together probably every 4 weeks and chew the fat, much like you and I used to on the Football Vloggers podcast. If you can get a word in edgewise with 6 people all trying to talk at once, which is all good fun. But there we go. Are you at a game at the weekend then, Knappers?
Yeah, Wycombe at home and Wigan at home. I'm actually off to Burnley Tottenham tomorrow to
lovely.
See how the other half live.
I hate to say it, I'm at Tottenham Manchester United on Saturday actually, so we're both massive scumbags here, aren't we?
Oh, exactly.
It's work, isn't it? It's work.
Well, I'm not vlogging tomorrow. I'm actually just watching tomorrow. I just want to really watch how both sides set up and contrast it to League One. So I am doing a bit of work. But I want to look at Spurs' stadium the other week. It was unbelievable, the tour that I did. So, I'm looking forward to it.
Did you go up on the crazy high ledge thing?
No, I wanted to, but my dad wouldn't come up with me.
You ain't going up there, sunshine.
No, exactly. No, but I'm hopefully going to, watch a few more games. I wanted to do Wigan, Lincoln tonight, but I finished work a little bit too late to get there. So I'm going to try and watch a little bit of it later on. So, try and watch what I can.
Well, we will not keep you anymore, Knappers. I can tell you that it is still 0-0 after We've played 19 minutes and it's still 0-0 there. So we'll see how that one pans out. Right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We should, given it's not a 3-game, no, it is a 3-game week next week. We'll be back when we're back. But we try and want to give you a show in the evening, whereas the only time we can fit it in is in the middle of the day. So we'll be back when we're back, but fear not. Knappers will not be long off the channel. And make sure you go ahead and subscribe over at Cod's Vlogs. Right, thank you everybody for watching. If anyone's got any shout outs, we'll stick them up in the advert at the end. Any last words, Knappers?
Enjoy your Tuesdays, guys. You know, big week this week. Enjoy whoever you're playing, and you know, I'm finally in a couple of weeks. I think November 13th is the last international break for a little while. I think they're trying to get one though in January. I've heard too, which. I don't know about you. I know they come for a little bit of handy, these international breaks for YouTubers, but they're very frustrating because you can't get a rhythm going where you can.
I know exactly what you mean.
Every 3 or 4 weeks is a pain. I drive around them every 7 weeks and have an extra one.
I totally agree. I think a few people will treat the FA Cup third round as an international break, but hey, that's a whole entire different conversation how you value that, isn't it? Right, thank you everybody for joining. I will be back. I don't know when I'm going to be back. Let me have a look at my whiteboard. I will be back on Thursday for the Championship preview. We'll have a bit of a quiet day writing tomorrow, and then we'll be live on Friday night, QPR versus Forest, and then it's the weekend again. Thank you everybody for watching. Bye from Knappers, bye from me, and we'll see you very soon. Over and out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.